Oh wait, that'll get us like kicked off. That'll get us.
Oh, that's right. Can you play like 6 seconds of it?
I can't. 7 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know.
Pause.
I'm too scared.
And then play it again.
I'm too scared. No, I want to bring in our special guest. Welcome to Inside the Leaderboard. I'm Chase Ingram.
I'm Captain America.
And along with me is Bill Grundler.
Wolverine.
And we have a special guest here.
Thank you.
And we have another special guest here, Mr. John Young, and the man formerly known as Peter.
Currently known as Pedro.
Currently known as Pedro. And Mr. John Young has requested, Bill, yet the prima donna that we have turned John Young to come out here and demand certain sound bites. I mean, we had 6 of them to start, but he's like, no. I found a better one. And you know what? I think he was right.
That is right. I did it. At number 5. Are you kidding me? That's right. Who do you think you are? I am.
Who do you think you are? I am. That's right. Fits you to a T. This is your original.
What kind of play you got for this situation?
How about the annexation of Puerto Rico?
And Pedro, I have found one for you.
Oh, this is going to be racist. I just know it straight away.
Oh, it's exactly what you think it's going to be.
Those kids that have to be Lucky Charms.
He doesn't even sound Irish. He sounds Scottish.
I was hoping you were going to do the "Who does number 2 work for?"
Oh, yeah. That is. Is he Scottish or Irish?
You could do
Well, that's when he's fighting. That's when he's fighting the Irish guy, and that's why they're doing the whole.
Is he the Irish? Oh, right. I could have pulled that sound clip.
I think.
I mean, Austin Powers is English.
I'd like to apologize to absolutely nobody. I think that would be a good one for Pedro.
That's a good one. Yeah. That's JR's in the chat.
Oh, what up, dude?
Don't worry, JR. If you ever come back on the show, I have one ready. It's a yellow button that I will press for you if you were to ever actually come back on the show. All right. Welcome, everybody, to the first week as we unveil the GWTP Strength of Field show as we look inside the leaderboard. Now, if you guys are just joining us, we'll go through what we've been doing, what we've been looking at. And the idea is that back in December, we fine-tuned this idea of strength of field, which CrossFit has designated for the last, 2 years now, is that they take the top 100 athletes for the men and the women, and then from those top 100, they spread out the athletes in their semifinals, their regional locations, and based off the number of athletes you have in that top 100, games qualifying spots are allocated using the designate method, but only after the spots they gave you are removed. So as it stands right now, North America, East, West, and Europe get 5 qualifying spots. Oceania gets 3. Asia and South America gets 1 or 2, and Africa gets 1. They're given these right from the start. We believe in our system, everybody gets 1. Just one from the start, and then we have 33 spots to hand out based off your performance, not after 2 years of looking back at your CrossFit Games seasons of opens, quarters, semis, and CrossFit Games, but your performance in the open of that year with your performance in the quarterfinals of that year going into semifinals. So your open performance averaged out with your quarterfinals performance, then we'll take the top 100. From that top 100, we're going to take out team athletes and masters athletes that are not competing in person at semifinals. Because if we say it's a strength of field calculation, it should be a strength of the field that's competing on the floor at that time. CrossFit system takes your performance of the last 2 years, takes the top 100, and then goes right from there. If you're going team, you're still in the top 100. If you're going masters, you're still in the top 100. If you've been retired, you're still in the top 100 if you competed the last 2 years and made it in that. And so what we're going to do is go through the system that it currently is, our system, what it was prior to 24.1 today, and then we get to finally look at what the top 100 would look like after 24.1. And I guess I'll just ask this question right off the bat. Question for John: who is the old school name you like to follow down the leaderboard? Obviously, Rich, but who are the legends you keep up with, and who aren't games contention? Yeah, you get what he's trying to ask. Do you watch old people on the leaderboard just for fun?
I see who I'm around, and then I try to beat that person. For instance, I was around Jason Khalipa last year with a couple of the workouts, so like he was a name that I followed. I like to watch Ben Smith's open workouts because he puts all of his stuff on YouTube relatively quickly, and he's not necessarily a guy who's trying like he's going team, and he's not as old or he's still in the game sort of, but he's another guy. Spencer Hindle, I like to see what he's doing.
Yeah.
I know that's a random name, but most of the guys that I'm looking at that aren't doing the games anymore, it's just because they're around what I do. And then hopefully I'll get a little less older guys that I follow.
That's what I do. I get less older.
The better I get.
That's the job, right? Try to get.
Right.
See, like
older
I don't
as
look
you
at
can.
Bill Grundler because he beats me by 90 seconds in workouts like this.
I'm in the. Dude, you have
And
to
then-
scroll too far down the division board to find out where I am. I feel like I'm in the 70 plus. Peter, I haven't heard what you think about this version since we did the original show. Like, how do you think? Did you see that? You saw last week's show, yeah?
Yeah.
What'd you think about? Do you think that's the right way to do it? The way we're trying to present it, as far as like getting the right people to the games.
I think the right people most of the right people will get to the games anyway, mostly. Like this kind of the way the funnel works, it tends to work. But I do think that one of the long-standing gripes that us and other people have had is that this constant narrative of the open doesn't matter. And I think this makes the open matter. So it's the perfect solution to the problem that they've created by consistently saying, "Oh, just train through the open and train through quarterfinals, and then your season starts at semifinals." And everyone else is like, "What? Like I thought it was good when the open mattered." And this kind of brings it back.
What I like about that too is that, and John had mentioned this in the last show, even when we finished the first mock version back in December, is that there wasn't a massive difference between what the game system was and what our system is, which I think is a testament to the game system being good enough as it is, but this system just being a little bit better. Whereas if it was a dramatic shift, I feel like that would be a much harder sell or description of one system versus the other. And I think the fact that they're so similar, yet this one is even, in my personal opinion, more detailed and performance-based in real time, I think are both positive things, that there's not massive swings, but there are some changes.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's kind of like saying, well, Matt and Tia won, so obviously the test was perfect because it showed who the fittest was. Like, no, it's like it just happened to work that way, and the system that we're putting together, that we're presenting here, is when you start looking, take all the names out, it ends up being a more, like you said, performance-based, a more relative, current relativity was for your athletes that are getting in there. And again, we're trying to get the right people in and have the people that matter to get the spots matter. You don't need to have retired people on the board. You
But
don't
even
need to
the
have
thing-
masters or team people on the board. That shouldn't be there.
The thing that's important as well is that, like, what's the constant thing that people are always talking about growing sports and making sports more like palatable and stuff is storytelling.
Yeah.
And at the minute, the open announcements have storytelling for about an hour and a half and then like nothing. And then an hour and a half the following week. Whereas if you have a system like this, you've got consistent storytelling throughout the week, throughout the 3 weeks, and then they carry on into quarterfinals. And it's just like a constant narrative that can be changed and updated, and it's enthralling and it's dramatic and everything else, as opposed to just like, all right, here's the open announcement, see you next week. Do you know, like you got this constant update, and that's what makes sports grow.
Yeah.
I
And
think
so
what
that's
Chase,
what we want to do. No, you got it, John.
I think what Chase said is performance based in real time. I personally think is the biggest selling point on why this is better, because Ricky Garrard going biking and having an accident and him not being there for the year should not hurt Australia in the future because he doesn't compete. You know what I mean? Like when somebody, or if say, somebody's having a baby, and so they take a year off to have a baby, and then this hurts in the future because their spot wasn't there and they have less people in the top 100. This is what's happening this year and on. Like that's it. It's this year. Every year is a new year, and I think that's how it should be. It's not. I hate when years previous affect what happens this year because
100%.
it should not be like that at all.
It's another sport that has like a playoff system. Like semifinals is basically our playoff system, or March Madness, right? It's like, all right, we play in, say it's, they have East, West, whatever conferences. Like, hey, the Western Conference in the NBA was so much better the last 2 years. They're actually going to get 10 spots to the playoffs. In the East, you guys have sucked the last couple of years.
You get 7.
You get 7. Even though you're better right now this year, as it currently stands, you have 6 of the best teams in the NBA. But based off it's real-time performance metrics for a strength of field actually in the game playing as it unfolds.
And sports is all about currently, right now, what's happening. 3, 2, 1, go right now. It doesn't matter what happened before or the historical significance of, none of that stuff should matter. So I really like the idea of it basically restarting every year, because that's the year we're dealing with. And we want the players that are there that year. I don't care about the people that were here 2 years ago. I should have no bearing on the athletes that are on the floor right now.
Name me a sport where previous years affect the other.
I don't know enough sports.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like.
Well, then why was that the pick? How did they do that then? Why did they do that? What was the purpose?
I think they're just trying something new. And as we try something new,
I don't know. Earmuffs, Chase.
Oh, wait, what? What?
Good. You're good.
Because they're retarded. All right. Come back, Chase.
What I missed? Bill's laughing.
Nothing.
All right. I'm going to play Foursquare here as we rotate.
Oh, that was good.
All right. So let's get to it. Not only are we going to go through the strength of field after 1 week of the 2024 CrossFit Games Open, but we are going to do a 24.2 prediction show. Based off what 24.1 is, based off what the last 3 days of .com has been and what a full week of CAP is, as well as looking at Dave Castro's clue. But let's check out what we are here for. This is our Strength of Field show for Inside the Leaderboard. And if you guys haven't been here before, welcome. We're going to go through the actual pre-open rankings as it stands with CrossFit right now. We will give you legitimately what the top 100 is currently stands, what that semifinal strength of field distribution would look like, and how many game spots each semifinal will get from CrossFit. Then we'll take our system pre-open, where we remove team athletes, retired athletes, band athletes, and masters athletes that we know aren't competing. We know that's going to change as the season goes on. And our 1 spot allocation process for games positions. And finally, we'll do week 1 as it stands, how it's changed after 24.1 in the open. So just to review, taking the top 100 overall after each week of the open and each submission window of quarterfinals. Every semifinal will get 1 game spot only, and the next 33 spots will be distributed using the DeHunt method by CrossFit, which I really do like that method that they brought into it. It's the top 100 in strength of field that we're having the discussion around. These are your 7 semifinal regions: North America, East and West, Europe, Asia, Africa, South America, and Oceania. Looking at what the top 100 currently stands by CrossFit's strength of field metric, there are 27 men in Europe, 32 men in North America East, 27 in West, 4 in South America, 3 in Africa, 4 in Oceania, and 3 in Asia. If we just took game spots now, these are your cut lines from the top 100 as it stands in CrossFit's format. We went over this last year, last episode. Knowing this going into week 1 of where you stand pre could change the way you attack the first week of the open. Your men pre-open, CrossFit would designate these using their top 100 as it stands right now. We know it'll change after the open and quarterfinals, but this is after 2 years that they have. 10 in the West, 12 in the East for North America, 10 in Europe, 1 in Africa, 2 in South America, 2 in Asia, and 3 in Oceania. On the women's side, If you took the pre-open rankings by CrossFit, 33 women in Europe, 25 in the East, 28 in the West, 4 in South America, 3 in Africa and Asia, with 4 in Oceania. So if you think about the rankings as they are now by CrossFit, South America and Oceania have the same number of women in the top 100, with Africa and Asia only 1 spot behind. These are your cut lines at that 100 mark. Knowing this going into week 1, again, would probably change the way you perform. As it's distributed now, 10 in the West and East for North America, 12 in Europe, 1 in Africa, 2 in Asia and South America, and 3 in Oceania. What this tells us is that based off the way CrossFit calculates their strength of field, distributes those top 100, and use the designate method, 4 of the 3 regions would get no extra spots that they're already given past that point. So once they run the designate method, it's basically 3 semifinals fighting for those remaining 17 spots. This is what CrossFit's is as it stands today. Now, let's look at if we removed known team athletes, retired athletes, or drug banned athletes going into this season. CrossFit doesn't do this right now. We are now diving into our system as it stands today. If we remove athletes that we know aren't competing, and obviously thank you to Pedro and your write-up on Barbell Spin, which is constantly updating teams that are making their way into the 2024 season. North America West will lose 2. Europe will gain 2. Asia will gain 1. Africa will lose 1. South America and Oceania will stay the same. Now, if you're not moving, a lot of times in this system, you may be falling out of contention, because if we're running the designate method now, here's what's going to happen. No changes, except Europe will gain 1. And so now they went from 10 to 11. Oceania men, and this is just pre-open still, will lose 1 spot. When you go to the women's side, the athletes that they are taking out are much more, whether they're retired or going team, prior to 24.1. We look at West will gain 1 spot. East will gain 3 spots. Europe will lose 2, and Oceania will lose 2. Much more moving and shaking, with more athletes going out or retiring. And this is the one that dropped a lot of jaws and made some people panic because they thought this was really happening. But West will gain 1 more spot. Africa will gain 1 more spot in this system, which they would never be able to do otherwise in the previous one. And Oceania loses 2 of the 3. That was the big jaw dropper before everything got started, is now Oceania, which was argued for a while to get, more 3, 4, 5 spots based off those performings. But now with those, a lot of women going team that were previously in the top 100. Again, this is all before the open. Now that we're all caught up, how are we feeling about how this system can shake out week to week?
Now, I have a question for you, Chase.
Yes.
The women that go team, if they still do the open, that would count for their Oceania bracket, correct?
If week to week, yes.
Okay.
Right. So in this system, if you're going team, you can still sign up for the individual open. I mean, you have to, right? You would count week to week, even in the quarterfinals. Say you sign up for the individual quarterfinals, even though you are doing team quarterfinals, it would still count up until you have to select one way or the other.
Semifinal.
Then you'll be removed before the semifinal rankings, because things can still change for 3 weeks in the open, 2 submission windows in quarterfinals, and then final rosters for semifinals. So there's 6 times this whole system could change based off who's going indie, team, or retiring.
Yeah.
And what's important out of that is that stresses the importance in the open. So if it's not for you because maybe later that you're going to go team, you can help your region to get more athletes as you're moving through. So it forces the athletes that are like, well, it really doesn't matter what I get because I'm going to go team. It forces them to go like, okay, no, push, so that your help is going to be able to. I mean, look right here, Oceania, 1 person. Like, could you imagine 1 if that was the case?
No, I mean, it's more of Asia, Africa, and South America getting 2 than Oceania getting 1. Like,
Right.
I get the one, boy, they're gonna have to fight it out. That's gonna be a fun fight. But like then the other places getting 2 is what is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. And here's the other thing where we talk about storytelling, what it could be. Before semifinals rosters are announced, you'll have one final, basically, strength of field show where you'll know exactly who's making it, who's not, who's going team, who's going individual, and you'll get to unveil the semifinal rosters for one, unveil the now official locked in top 100 two, and then reveal the number of game spots every semifinal is going to get. That could be a show. Imagine
even to John's point, like saying like 2 for Asia, 2 for South America, 2 for Africa. Yeah, but like during the Open and quarterfinals, that'll shift back the other way, provided Oceania don't just go, oh fuck it, we can't make it anyway.
Right.
Like,
yeah, well, this is only one event in. You're right.
Yeah.
This is the first event.
This is
No,
pre-event.
this isn't even. This is pre.
Oh, this is pre. We haven't even gotten to the first event. But so you're right.
Yeah.
As it goes, it will, as that leaderboard shifts based on the number of events that are happening, you are going to see a shift in that.
You would think, but not if
You'd
they
hope,
don't
yeah.
participate.
Exactly.
Right.
Like,
Right.
that's the thing.
You exactly
Right.
nailed it. And here's the thing, to Pedro, what you just said. Before the Open starts, this whole thing will be unveiled. And now every woman in Oceania is going to be like, fuck that. We're getting our spots back. And so let's see what that could look like after 1 week of the Open.
And they have to get in the top 100
Right.
during the Open. So it's like they
Worldwide.
have
They
to
gotta
have
get after
top
it.
scores.
They
It's
gotta
not
get
just
after
them doing it. They have to beat the people ahead of them that are in
Yeah.
Asia, South America, and Africa.
All right. You guys ready?
So basically, the Open matters is what you're saying.
Yes.
Oh, the Open.
Yeah.
The Open does matter. Now, before we jump over there, if you guys want to just shout out to Element 26 for being a part of this show. Scan that QR code. 15% off everything in their store. It's everything you need for your CrossFit accessories getting pumped
Yeah,
for the
Pedro,
Open.
get
Yes,
that.
use your phone. Use your
Get
phone.
that, Pedro.
265 people watching. Holy crap. What is happening? Who bought us viewers?
Don't do it. Oh, no.
No? No? And if you can't scan it while there, just scan the bottom left. All right, drum roll, please. We will start with the men. Athletes removed from the men this year. Noah Olson, Chandler Smith, Jason Smith, Philip Muscarella, and Christoph Horvath. That was pre-Open. Still the same names that will not be competing individually, as we know. So we have taken them out after the Open week 1 for the men. North America West lost 6 men out of the top 100. The East lost 4. Europe gained 4. South America gained 2. There are 0 men out of Africa in the top 100.
As it should
after
be.
Open week 1. Asia unchanged. It is still 4, and Oceania went up 6.
I want to apologize. My performance on 24.1 took away 4 personally from North America West.
So this is what the numbers are after week 1 of the Open. So these numbers changes are a reflection of our pre-Open rankings. And after 24.1, here are your games qualifying spots allocated to each semifinal. North America West now has 7. They lost 3. East lost 1. Europe gained 1. They're now at 12. South America gained 1. They're now at 3. And Oceania gained 2 from our pre-Open rankings. And I thought, hey, let's just make this a little bit more fun. Let's just see who would have gone to the CrossFit Games or not gone to the CrossFit Games last year if this were to be the end. And if I look at Oceania, number 4, William Kearney would have got an invite to the CrossFit Games had they have gained 1 more spot in Oceania. If you look at North America East had,
It'd be Austin Hatfield.
Austin Hatfield? Who's that guy? I'm just kidding. Or is this West? Did I pick West right there?
I mean, you can do what Colton Mertens would not make the games
There you go.
in West
Yeah, there you go. In the West,
because they had
they
7
lost
spots.
7. So they have 7 spots. Nick Matthew would have gotten the final spot. Colt Mertens and Cole Sager would not have qualified. Going to the East, they lost one spot. Sprague, Spencer Panchek would have been holding on to that 12th spot after losing that. If we go to South America.
What's crazy is, so you're picking this off at one event currently?
Yes, Guy Majeros.
Who got the best score?
Welcome back to the
Colt Mertens.
And
That's
he's
so
the guy
funny.
that doesn't make it in.
Yeah, he doesn't make
What
it
a
in.
knife to the
because
heart that is.
that work.
Right? Colt
That
Mertens.
is so funny.
He
Nick
literally
Holt,
could
thank you
not
very
have
much
done
for getting the
more.
world's record on that, but you don't get to go to the games.
That is ridiculous. That's so funny.
So this is what it would have been. So if South America gained that one spot in this system, again, this is just week to week. Guy Majeros makes the CrossFit Games. So
Crazy.
And that's the wild ride we are going to go on week to week through this. Now, usually we'll show the 100 cut line for the men. There are like 20 ties right now on that 100 cut line because it's week one. So that will flesh itself out a little bit. So if we go from week to week, we'll say, all right, here's the 5 in, here's the 5 out. Going into week 2, there's about 20 ties for men and women. So that won't be a thing for this week, but next week we will have that. All right. That's the men's side. That's not exciting at all.
Man, it just gives you like the Colton story, I think, is massive. Best score in the world, and yet that region doesn't have enough to where he would be able to, or he would have not made it in. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But it shows just how important the open really is. And I think that's what's so great about this. Is like, we know that one event is not going to dictate who's going to the games. We know that, but we're able to kind of work our way through. But right now, what does that say on the, for the men's side? Does that mean that all the tall people live in Africa?
Maybe.
Or maybe just not as fit, but like maybe the height thing, since it was, the burpees and the
right. So
the
this is basically your 101.
Hold
Right
on,
at
guys, I'm
100.
sorry.
It's all right. There's a mute button for a reason. There you go. Look at that, 617, 3 people, 618, another 10 people, 619. And so the margin for error now on a top 100 cut line, even though it's week 1, I know that. 3 seconds faster or redo to get in the top 100. These are spots you don't want to have to make up in week 3, right? That's what we're saying. I don't want to lose. If I can get 10 seconds faster and move up 50 spots, those are 50 spots I don't want to have to make up on another weekend.
Every workout matters.
Right? So that's what we wanted to show you too here, is that it's just, there's so much on the line.
Well, and you know exactly what you're dealing with here. I mean, like we don't know what's going to come up. I mean, maybe I will be lucky and guess the next 2 events that come up.
Bill does.
But most people aren't going to know. So you can't game on, well, in the last one, if I have to make up 50 spots, I can do it then. Like, if you know you can cut 10 seconds and you see how close it is, like this event, this workout was really designed that if you needed to do it again, to cut 10 seconds off somewhere, like this was the one to do it because it was going to be so tight.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to make up time if you just need to hurt a bit more than it is to be like, oh, well, I need to increase my capacity on gymnastics in the next 2 days.
Right.
For-
Or,
Yeah.
Or I just need to not put my hands on my knees in those burpees. Or like do Hiller, take some drugs, do it like 6 times in 2 days or whatever.
Or you watch, I mean, this is back in the old days. I mean, I used to watch Ben Smith to see like what his timing was on how fast did you do this set? What do I need to be around that? So you could watch Colton Mertens and Taylor Self. You can see these guys, what they were doing, how fast did they move? How were they moving? Where could I cut some time based on my time, whatever, So
I don't know if you can watch those guys.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
just
maybe
saying,
you
I
Just
mean,
go
like,
as fast as you
5th or
can the
6th.
entire time and never stop.
well,
Like,
you're
that's-
right. I mean, you have to have the capacity to do that. But what I'm saying is that like those videos are out there early enough that
say
you
have the
have
capacity?
days to see like, okay, maybe I can slide in there and do that again.
For the top tier athletes, yeah. Like he's talking top 100.
We're talking top 100.
Top 100. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
All right. Let's switch over to the women's side.
I think it's going to be some of the same. Yeah, Europe's going to gain, and
Where are the tall people?
We'll
I wanna
have
see
to
what,
see.
I want to see what,
I
what,
think,
what region has the tall
Europe
people.
is going to gain. That's my guess.
Now, here's the thing. More athletes removed on the women's side than even pre-open, now post-open, because we know more things as it continues on. Because now some of the women who are, quote, retired or team are in the top 100 legitimately after 24.1. Yeah, I would say there's some moving and shaking here, guys. Europe gained 12 spots from our pre-open ranking. North America West lost 15. East lost 5. Asia gained 1. Africa lost all of them. And Oceania gained 10 after 1 week of the CrossFit Games open.
You know what I think? I think the rest of the world just needs to get stronger. And that's because
Oh,
they're
you do?
so
John
fit
Young?
cardiovascularly. No, that's what's going on. Is that, and once these weights come, it's all going to shift back. But y'all are too fit over there in Europe and Australia, and you're not strong enough. I'm sick of you coming over here and not being able to lift the freaking weights. Okay, we can still run. We just can't lift the weight.
They
Y'all
man,
can't.
how is it in Australia? Everyone's super short. Gain 10.
It's because they're upside down, so it's
Dude,
easier.
Europe
That's
gained 12. Europe gained 12. The West lost 15.
15?
Women at the top one.
North America lost 20 total.
It's because their lungs are better.
Oh,
How that last slide, Chase? How much do you deliberate over typing "retired" beside Mal O'Brien and not like? Were you just like, yes, fucking retired, it's fine.
yeah, that's all known and unknowable. Shout out to you guys. And
He
Mike
started with QURETIR.
Yeah. Quit tired. No? All right, cool. All right, let's go to the game's allocated spots.
Oh my God,
Boom.
North America.
North America West loses 6 spots to the CrossFit Games. North America West loses 1 spot. South America stays pat at 2. Asia at 2. Africa loses their 1. Europe gains 4. Oceania gains 4. And now the party has begun. So let's just take a peek at who would have been in and out in these certain spots at these certain semifinals. So let's go to the East semifinal for the women.
I think
it's 9.
Vidison would have not been in.
Well, that's Europe, but okay.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Number 9, Shelby Neal gets in. Karen Stanley, Paige Semenza would have been out. I believe both of them were in last year. So Shelby Neal would have held that final spot. If we go to the, North America West, they only taken 5.
Dude.
No, it's 5. Bethany Flores would have been 5th. Here's who's out. Emily Rolfe, Olivia Kerstetter, Abigail Dommett, Bailey Rail, Kelly Baker. You're 6 through 10.
Dang.
Your rookie of the year wouldn't have made it.
Who made the cut in Europe?
Games. All right, let's see. Who made the cut in
How many spots did Europe get? 16?
They got 16 spots. Your 16th placeholder, Jenny Muir.
She would have done a job at the games as well.
Jenny Muir, Turi Helgadottir would have made it.
Oh, there would have been no Jacqueline Dahlstrom drama.
No Jacqueline Dahlstrom. Linda Kiesman would have made it. Jacqueline Dahlstrom would have made it. Ohana got busted, so if we pull it down, Andrea Solberg.
Been to the games before as well.
Been to the games before. So these are names that would be in currently, since Moya is out. Linda Kiesman, Turi Helgadottir, Jenny Muir, Andrea Solberg are your ones that would have gotten a spot there.
You can't help but think that 16 is just too many, though. That
Well,
like
it's
16
good. That's why
spots is like someone's going to drown on the first workout. Or,
It'll get
you know what I mean?
balanced out. It's going to get balanced out. Like,
It will get balanced out, yes, but
calm
all
down.
those names we just listed are not ones that are just going to come in and do nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Those are quality names that would be qualifying for the CrossFit Games, some for the first time, some for multiple times. If we jump over to Oceania, Maddie Sturt, Caitlin Van Zyl. Since we only took 3 last year, you get an extra 2. Those 2 would have made the CrossFit Games, with Grace Walton just 3 points outside in that 6th position. I mean, this is pretty good.
It's pretty fun, dude. It's, I mean, again, we have to keep telling ourselves it's only one event right now. It's only dumbbell snatches and burpees, and that's it. So we haven't by any means completed what we need to do, but it is fun to look at those numbers though, and look at where that shuffle is.
You know how many girls in North America West are going to try to murder 24.2?
All right, you want to see something cool?
Like if this was updated real time, and this is what it is. Like this is who's going to the games. These are your spots. I
wonder though, does it change? Obviously, like you need to have the capacity, like so you need to have the skill and everything else for the athletes to be able to do like world-class times at the different workouts. But I wonder would the type of place impact how much kind of effort would be put in to get, like, are Oceania going to work harder because they want it more for each other because they have felt slighted for the last number of years? Would the North Americas maybe be a bit complacent because they've had it so good for the last number of years that, you know, they're just kind of like, we'll be fine. And then it takes a year of like, oh, fuck. And then next year,
you gotta get slapped.
You know
what I mean? Yep, you got to get slapped 1 year.
But, and I would say that it should.
Yeah.
If North America is complacent and Oceania bands together, and now we got 5 girls and like, and Colt Mertens doesn't make the games. Are you kidding me? How hard North America is going to do everything the next year after that?
Yep.
I think that it would
make it matter. It makes everything matter.
We haven't had anyone rallying. We haven't had the need to rally people. And when we talked about this on the original idea show, we went over last year's, that would be, I think, the play that would start to happen is now you have your elite community that they're like, they go and watch you do it, or they hit you up personally and they say, dude, you need to do better on this one so that we can get in this spot. We can get this many spots. If we're going to lose 10 spots, 5 spots, 1 spot in a region that, like, okay, you have 3 good athletes and they're only taking 2. And so you have someone that you know is fit, but they can't get in on their region. Like, I think that you're going to see something that we've never really seen since the old Central East days, where it's like you have, you know, the tough regions that are all pulling together and that they could all train together and they could all rally each other to get some badass scores.
All right, you guys ready for this? I'm going to pull up who's outside the top 100. So you said it's like, all right, hey, West needs to rally, East needs to rally, all these other semifinals need to rally after the slapping they got in week 1. Even though Europe's sitting with 16, it ain't going to get much better. Look at the flags on the right. There are 11 women in Europe on this page outside the top 100 right now. 11. Just on the outside looking in, and they've already got 16 spots. They had, let me...
Okay, but like there's names like Alexis Raptis down at 113. Like,
there is, but I'm just saying is that, can they, should they, can the West? Yeah, but Europe has 11 of the next 15 waiting in line after week 1. So
I don't know. With 3
I'm not saying they're all going to be
shaken out. So
yeah, but John, you go week by week. You know what's going to change, but you still buy into the narrative as it You don't just go, just skip to the last page. I just want to see the end. You live the drama as it's happening.
Everybody does that. Like,
you can't freak out over week 1. Is all I'm saying.
Dude, they have the semifinals and they go through event number 1, and all of a sudden they're like, "Who is this person who's sitting in first place right now? It's amazing that they're in first place." Yeah, it's
the CrossFit Games, right? Pat Vellner's in 35th place because he has 5 of those.
It's the same.
Is winning the CrossFit Games with the leader jersey.
Yes, it's the same thing. You're totally right, John. And yes, it is all going to shuffle, but it's still fucking fun to talk about it.
Yeah, it's fun to bring you on the show to just shit on this for the next 5 weeks, and the whole point is to create drama and conversation about it.
Do you know
That's not what I'm doing. Dude.
We'll do the next 5 minutes of the show the way that John wants to do it. Okay,
so
everything has to be monotone.
Line too.
Yeah. Hey guys, this actually matters until it's all over.
They're not going to be there. It doesn't mean
Well,
people aren't
Alexis
going to need to try
Raptis
hard.
is in 113th, so I guess we'll just stick with this monotone tone, and we'll wait until week 3 when we'll finally introduce some
Y'all are a
change
bunch
in
of
vocal
haters,
tone.
man. I'm just
John
trying to do
John actually prefers the current system as it stands right now.
I do not. I feel like I've been on record saying I would prefer this system. Y'all are just the game's just not dumbbell snatches and burpees. Like just wait till week 2, and then it will be
Yes.
and then it
And
will be
we'll
on.
fucking talk about week 2 when week 2 happens, John. We're talking about week 1.
Yes. The pre-open swing from the top 100 coming into the open and what happened in 1 week was wild. And maybe the same thing will happen the other direction after week 2. We don't know because we don't know what the event's going to be. However, things we do know is I would say the easiest clue I've ever seen Dave Castro give is right here. Yep. That's
The fact that you say that scares me.
I'm also kidding, John. I don't know what the hell this thing is supposed to mean.
Oh,
But
it's a
this
pretty
is-
easy clue.
This is Dave Castro's clue. There's a pawn sitting on top of a shuffleboard, and a shuffle piece or a weight, as it is called, knocks it out of the way. That is the clue. So we are going to go into a prediction show of 24.2. Bill all but nailed what it was going to be the previous one with dumbbell snatches or dumbbell ground overhead, burpees over the dumbbell.
Pretty insane.
And what did John say to that? Yeah, you know what? The dumbbells will be too hard to judge jumping over the dumbbell.
I don't think I said that.
No, you did. You're like, I just don't like I don't like the jumping over the dumbbells.
Well, nobody
And
jumped
I
over it
didn't.
anyway.
You heard my time. I didn't enjoy it.
I did not. I barely made it over that
Yeah,
damn
you can't
dumbbell.
call what Chase was doing jumping.
I was just jumping and praying. That's what I was doing. I don't know if this is a clue, but this was weird. Why did Dave pull out a deck of cards on
And
his
shuffle.
weekend review and start shuffling them?
That was weird.
There's a king of hearts. There's a 7 of diamonds. Showing him to the camera. Is this a clue? Is the leaderboard going to shuffle after week 2 because now the cardio bunnies got theirs and the weight jocks may get theirs coming up with the weight sliding into the pawn? Is the pawn a little person?
I think he was using those cards as like one of those stress balls instead of squeezing so that he wasn't getting pissed off.
He was talking about
he
Andrew
was having
Hiller
to
at
give.
this moment in time. That could have been. That's
I think he's just fidgeting.
That's it. Those were his fidget spinners. Yeah.
Yeah.
fidget spinners. And then let's go through the programming here. This is .com. This is Monday. There was a rest day on Sunday. Monday was AMRAP in 7 minutes of 7 box jumps at 30 and 24 inches and 7 chest to bar pull-ups. So we have a 7-minute workout on Monday on .com. On Tuesday, we have a 7-set complex. This is basically just a heavy day. 4 hang squat cleans into 2 push presses for weight. So increase your weight each time. All right, so we got a heavy day with some hang cleans and push presses. And then today, it's a mile time trial. So we have a 7-minute AMRAP couplet on Monday. We have a 2 barbell for loading couplet. And then we just have a for time, which is a 5 to 8 minutes intensity fest for .com. So I see short, heavy, short.
Yep.
All right. With monostructural solo, 2 barbells in the next one, and then a gymnastic couplet in the other.
I'm going to jump off for like 5 minutes. I'll come back.
All right,
I'm just going to work on my prediction.
You're gonna write it down. Let's click over to CAP. This is the one where you're putting it into the weekly programming. You've got stuff on Thursday. You've got stuff. There's a workout every day. It's got to match up a little bit. So Monday, wasn't this a qualifier for Wadapalooza? 45 deadlifts at 225 and 155.
It was.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what was the time frame there? Like 2 to 3 minutes with 90.
Like 140
90
to 140 to 220, really.
140 to 220 with half. It's 45 and 45 with 45 no reps.
Yeah. I did 21:15.9 regular Diane, unbroken the entire time, as fast as you can possibly do it. Transitions were as fast as you could do it. My time was like 2:04, and I was like 200th. And I'm like, this is stupid. like the way Rich Froning felt about the open workout is how I felt about that qualifier.
All right, so that's Monday. Hinging pull from the floor, which I don't really feel like doing at the moment still. Or going inverted. If you go at Tuesday, it's an interval workout. It says 400 to 500 meter row. I don't know why they did that. It's, women can row 500 meters. It's okay. 1 every 4 minutes, 500 meter row for 5 rounds. Scores your slowest of the 5. So monostructural only on Tuesday. Today, it's a different version of Helen. 3 rounds for time, 400 meter run, 21 knees to elbows. Jay Sheets, give this money to John Young. You earned that $1.99.
Thank you.
By the way, you guys can join our membership for YouTube. If you guys want to join that, there's two membership options, $3.99, $5.99. You get a cool little logo decal. We got 4 already. You guys can join that if you'd like to. Let's go back to this run. Knees to elbows and 12 double dumbbell hang squat cleans at 50s and 35s. I look at that, WMG triplet, classic in nature, a lot like Helen, same rep schemes, same format. A little bit longer time frame for knees to elbows than a kettlebell swing. Maybe close. And then the double hang squat cleans at 50 and 35. Yuck. After that. 10 to 12 minutes here?
Yeah.
On average?
Yeah, totally.
Right, 10 to 12 minutes. So we have sub 3 Monday. We have intervals of 130 to 2 minute endeavors for 5. So let's say that's sub 10 of total work, 10 to 12 minutes of work here. And then on Thursday, let me click that, is shoulder press, 10 by 2, every 2 minutes, perform a new lift, try to go up each time. So the Thursday before the open workout will be programmed, which would be on a Friday. They're doing a heavy shouldered overhead. Kick over Friday and look at Saturday. It's a 10-minute AMRAP of 2 chest to bar pull-ups, 2 burpee box jump overs, and then add 2 reps after each set. So 2s, 4s, 6, 8s, and that's after. So leading in, heavy shoulder press, that's just 20 minutes of work. Afterwards, just 10 minutes of work. We said a 10 to 12 minute, an interval base of 10 minutes, and then a sub 3. Monday was a 7-minute AMRAP, heavy day on Tuesday on .com, and then another, what did we say? For Wednesday, 7 minutes? 5 to 8 minutes for a mile time trial. So based off time alone, I'm saying we're going long.
Yeah.
15 plus at least. As a basis of where I'm looking at starting.
Yeah, I'm a bit perplexed on what it could be though, because other than it's going to have double unders in it, what else could it be? Because I don't think we're hinging again. You have hinging on the first 2 days. You have deadlifts and rowing,
and
right?
hang squat
And
clean.
then I think okay, we're gonna do some squatting, but you have dumbbell hang squat cleans and that in a row. It's not a lot, but that will pump your legs up for sure. And then you got 3 rounds of 90 air squats on Sunday.
Right.
And then I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe light thrusters, but then sure you have shoulder press right before that, heavy shoulder press. So I'm a little bit, and it has the weight knocking over the pond. The first week was all engine. Though this week you would think it would be weights.
Yeah.
I don't know what it could be. I have no, I was thinking squat snatch, but then you got 10 power snatches on Sunday.
And we just did snatches on this past week, even though it was with a dumbbell.
I don't think we're going to clean when there's cleaning on Wednesday.
I do.
What do you
I think it'll be a barbell.
Well, here's the thing. It's a dual dumbbell hang clean.
Right.
And we had hang cleans with a barbell on Tuesday of .com, but for weight, not intensity.
Right. I think that this will be. I have 2 ways of looking at this. One, I think there'll be a rower in it, and the reason I think there'll be a rower in it is because that slide that was knocking over. Yes, I know it was weight that was knocking over the little guy, the little pond, but I took that more as there's going to be a slide to this. So I see the rower, and I think if you're knocking over the little guy, it's not going to be not going to be lightweight thrusters because that's not knocking over the little guy. It has to be some sort of weight. And then I also see that, like, again, what knocks over the little guy, that's a row. So we're going to have a sliding back and forth. So I see something where it's going to be, I want to say, part of me says thinks it's going to be one of the stopgap ones, but I think that we need to have some length in there, some time in there. So a 20-minute AMRAP.
So rowing, double unders, and cleans.
Rowing, I think lunges and cleans, because the
There's
lunges
no
I still
double
think
unders in all of CAP all week.
Nope.
You're right.
And that's a skill that's tested every single open.
But I don't think that they would do. I don't think the reason I don't think it'll be double unders is I think that rowing will be in it rather than double unders, and I don't think that you would put rowing and double unders in it.
Okay.
I don't think that they would double metcon it. I don't think that they would do that.
So I wanted to add a couple things for you guys to think about. Just reading into we're going to read into this way more because clearly after the mushroom one, all right. Although
did you see that he said it was like, well, it's obvious. Someone asked him about it, and he's like, "You didn't get it? It's totally obvious."
So if you say, all right, if I just look at the clue alone, the shuttleboard piece, right? I see that as
a
heavy weight knocking out the little guys.
Yeah.
Right. I think, okay, what are, or like big athletes coming in to knock out the little ones? Either or, right? Big, tall boy athletes, row, wall ball, and heavyweights. Those are really your only three.
Right.
You could put box jumps in there, but we've already had box jumps twice in both .com and CAP. And you have box jumps, burpee box jumps after on Saturday programmed in CAP, and you had box jumps on Monday programmed on .com. I don't think a box is going to get in there unless it's maybe a step up, but that still doesn't make sense. All right. So I'm looking at the only big boy advantage ones: row, wall balls, and heavyweights.
Do you think they do a lot of wall balls though after a shoulder press day?
Yeah, because I think that's heavy. I think that was heavy. So,
and then you think about, like, okay, so because that could be a lightweight cycling movement, not unlike the dumbbell, except this lightweight weightlifting cycling movement favors the bigger, taller athlete.
And I think, and I don't think it'll be a couplet. It won't be rowing and just a weight. There's going to be something else in there because we just did a couplet.
Right.
So I see there's got to be at least 3 movements, if not some sort of a chipper, kind of like the 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, where the best of the best will make their way back around. But generally everybody else is going to be doing that, working some way down chipper. But you're right. I saw the same setup as big for weight and big guy stuff. That's why I said the row, because of the slide.
Yeah. I'm just saying big guy because I was told by someone that we shouldn't talk about women's bodies when it comes to athletic performance. But
we're only talking about guys' bodies, so it's fine.
Yeah, only guys'
totally
bodies.
allowed. You're allowed to talk about it, so it's totally fine.
Totally.
All right. So if you see it as that, do you see? Okay. So I think we're all agreeing that there's got to be some weight in there, right? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
And
John?
we don't think it's going to be. Would y'all be opposed to like straight up like a front squats?
I think lunges are more likely.
With the dumbbell or barbell?
The barbell. Stationary.
It's more
only
aerobic,
if it's stationary.
Yeah, stationary.
But like I just feel like if you're doing lunges and rowing and wall ball, like that's still like that's not the big guys taking out the little guy. That's just another engine workout.
Yeah.
You're not going to have 2 25-pound lunges.
I think it's going. The fuck do I know? But I think it might be a skill that's like a separator that only a certain amount of people will get through, that they're just going to be blocked or like wiped out. And that the pawn is something that's a gimme, like something that anyone can do, like rowing. Anyone can sit in a rower and anyone can pull and move, no matter how slow or how fast you move, you can do it. And then there's just going to be something that comes and just wipes everyone out. Mm-hmm. Like not everyone, but like the majority of people out, leaving the top tier to continue on.
So then why not do like a stop gate with the clean? So you have your set calories of row, you have your set lunges you have to do, and then you do your weight that increases. Yeah. And whatever the time is. So in Chase, we talked about this one where we were going to do the hang power cleans and I think it was hang power cleans and the burpees is what we were doing.
Burpees, yeah.
Yeah. And we cut the time down because we didn't want the good athletes that do like 35 hang power cleans at like 225 or whatever it was. But setting up what was the number? They've repeated it twice. We talk about it all the time. The double unders, toes to bar.
Okay, so that's where I
6.2,
wanted to go with
9.9.
you guys, right?
Right.
So, yeah, 16.2.
Yes.
The one of the best predictors of CrossFit Games finish places from the Open. The best format to test strength and fitness all in one spot in the Open, because we're not. I don't want to say we. Max is in the Open.
Stupid
And don't belong. Or I'll say single modality tests for a one-off. We'll cover all the bases there. Take that format, which was 25 toes to bar, what is it, 50 or 75 double
50
unders,
doubles.
50 double unders, 15 squat cleans. And then it went 13 with
13,
heavier weight, 11,
Yep.
9, 7 to finish, with time gaps every 4 minutes every time you complete a new round. The next year they did it, they gave you an 8-minute block to start so everybody could play a little bit longer. I would like to see that same format, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that, but using different movements this time. So instead of double unders, maybe it's row cals, right? We might keep the toes to bar in there because we need to put a gymnastic skill that's a little lower bar than, say, chest to bar pull-ups or bar muscle-ups, which are still on the table going into week 3. And then something different like a front squat or a back step lunge, not a clean. We did a dynamic movement in week 1. How about more static strength weightlifting test in week 2? So maybe it's 15, 12 cal row, 15, 20 toes to bar, or call it 15, and then 15 front squats at a certain weight, and then 11 at a heavier weight, 12, 9, right? So the same 16.2 format using different movements and a different weight. As it's heavier, it knocks out more people.
I totally think it will be that style too, 100%. And I see 15 calories on the row. I don't see going on the rig because they have the pull-ups that are happening right after in cap. I don't see that being the very next day with the
They had
pull-ups
the knees to elbow workout.
and the knees to
with
elbow
that
one
Helen.
too.
Yeah.
So I see the lunges on that one. So I see the rowing, lunges, and then 15 and that's why I say cleans, because I just think, again, it's something that's relatively easy for people to do. Not even worried about the squat clean, because once it gets heavy, I think you'll have to squat clean anyway. But the difference that I see is that they don't stop at 7. They do it again for 5. They do it again for 3, and they have a final one. So this is where you get the big guys that will be able to move their way up to the heavy weight, because the other athletes, the not as big athletes, are going to have a harder time working on the weight that's up there. Everyone can do the row. You're right. The taller guys will still, the taller athletes will still have the advantage. The back step lunges, everyone will have the shot at that. And I think that's something that everyone has talked about for a long time. And whether the hint with Justin has been thrown out that way or not, I think we're going to see it. I think it's an easy way to put it in there. As double unders were when the last time we did this version of this workout. But then we'll have the cleans, not squat cleans like it was in 16.2, but just regular old cleans, because they'll make it down that way, but they just keep on going. So they'll go all the way down to 1. And I think that will put people up to that 20-minute range for sure, because what did BKG and those guys get?
They got Dan finished, but he was like 1 off because his judge miscounted, and then BKG had like 2 or 3 left.
So I mean, even, and that was, what was the time on that? Was it 18?
That was 20.
15?
It was
20 on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so take the squat clean out, since you're already doing the lunges, and make it just a regular old clean, and then that will speed up the tempo of that clean more than the squat clean, and then you'll be able to move from there.
What about, I was thinking about this too. I know they're doing a heavy strict press double going into it, which isn't going to, like, that's going to bother nobody. Like, there will be no lingering effects from a strict press, because you either got it or you don't, and it's over.
It's not that heavy anyway.
And it's not like even a bench press would be much more taxing
Right.
than a strict press, because you can,
Do more weight.
do more weight, way more intense, way more demanding on the body, chest and shoulders. Like strict press, like, oh, nope, it's not there. You know, right here.
Yeah.
Gone. What if you take your back step lunges, no weight, right? Take it with no weight. That's your gymnastics movement. You got row, back step lunges in place, whether forward or back, however they want to do it. And then you do a shoulder to overhead with the same descending rep skis, but increasing weight. We have never had that before in the open. I mean, we've never had backstep lunges either, but that would fit some of the movement patterns a little bit better than doubling up on a lower body movement into a lower body movement, even though it is a hinge to a squat. Or even if you say power.
Do you mean just body
Can't
weight
see them
lunges?
do shoulder to overhead right after a strict press. I don't disagree with you, but
I would love that
I don't
workout.
like it either. I'm just saying is like I feel like it's on the table. Pedro, what did you say? Sorry.
Wait, you said, what did you say there? Lunges with no weight, as in body weight lunges?
Yeah, just step backs.
It's a bit shit, isn't it?
I mean, not if the buy-in is at the same number of toes to bar or something that we had, right?
yeah, what if it's like 40? What if you have to like
Yeah,
row
okay, yeah,
15 cows, 40 lunges, and then 15 cleans, and then
15,
that's the
30,
buy-in,
15.
and then
15,
you keep
30, 15. Because
15,
yeah.
30, 11. Or 30.
racing 30 air squats, though it's easy to do, still will have a lingering effect when you're getting to 150 to 180, approaching 200. If we have 5 to 7 rounds
Yeah.
of this with weight stop gaps, and think about that too. It's like it's not about the lunges. It's about the row going into the lunges, going into something like a power clean or a shoulder to overhead, if that is what it could be. And now not only do you have to be fit, you have to be technically sound as your legs get more and more fatigued under 2 different movements, whether it's a power clean or say a shoulder overhead, that your legs and hip extension has a massive impact on success or failure with both of those movements.
It'd be a mess judging. The lunges, as in there'd be a lot of scores afterwards where it's like needs review.
I think you'd have a better shot at a step back lunge than a walk through lunge.
Then make it wall balls.
Yeah.
Would you still stick with 15,
ultimate-
30, 15?
Yeah, 20
Yeah.
pounds, 20 and 14 to a 10 and 9 foot target. 15, 12 cal row, 30 wall ball shots, 15 power
I mean,
clean.
if you went to 7, like they did in 16.2, that would equal Karen.
Okay, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
5 rounds.
7,
I mean,
so 5 rounds.
if you go 5-3-1 though, that's like 225 wall balls. That's a lot. Or,
It'd be great.
250.
Just like purely selfishly, I can't squat below like 45 degrees. So it'd be great if everything was power, like power wall balls, like push press wall balls, power cleans,
Most
power
people's
lunges.
wall balls are power wall balls.
What about like a pistol? Or you think that's too much?
No, bro.
No, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry.
It wouldn't happen.
All right.
Freaking open.
That's what it will be now. There's a sound clip. Everyone's shitting on John, and the next week I have to deal with freaking deal with that again.
Dude, I totally think that will be that'll be the they have to have a stopgap. They have to have a strength. They have to have a way for everyone. I mean, it still has to fit the parameters of what Dave was talking about. The intensity is going to showcase what it is.
Yeah.
You're not going to be taping the floor up.
Nope.
It's going to be something that's relatively easy to do. Like you start off light enough, anyone can pull an object up off the ground to the front rack. And and even with the lunges, I think that's an easier judging for the open, for the masses, than even a wall ball. How low to go, how high to throw it to.
I agree.
And I think that there's been
is
way too
easier?
many. There's too much talk. Yeah.
I think you get more cheating with lunging than you would wall balls.
As far as we have to worry about going all the way down, right? So all you
No,
have to
but-
do is that when you're switching feet. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't short it. You can, but I think that I don't know. I think it'd be just as easy.
Still not happening.
There's more opportunities with the wall ball target, where it's hitting, how deep you're going. And the thing is that we have talked about, it's been talked about with lunges for so long. I can't see it not happening.
Is lunges not really easy though? It's not like, right, your knee is touching the ground, fine. Your knee didn't touch the ground, not fine. Whereas wall balls is like, oh, is the hip? You know what I mean? Whereas like, I can see
No,
a
it's
contact
about
line.
standing up all the way.
But it's
thing
the
about
open hip
lunges.
at the top.
Because
I
you're
mean-
so quick to go into the next one.
I don't see as a massive difference between the two. They both have their pain points.
Totally.
If
And
you do
I
your
think
judges
that
course.
after, I mean, if someone wants to do some sort of dance step where they just kind of rotate their knees down to the floor and
No, it'll be something
know.
like knee must contact the ground behind the front heel, and both hips and knees and feet.
No. That's what you would write. That's what a person.
They're gonna be
that
like,
is
you know what
coaching
a
would
lunge
explain
is,
that
right?
because you know what you
backside
wanted to
lunge is,
say.
right?
That may or may not be what is written.
Yeah.
Just while I mentioned the judges course, does anybody else every single year when they're doing the judges course go through, the first bit that's like the prep bit and be like, fucking hell, this is so easy, I'm flying it. And then it comes to the quiz and you're like, oh, balls, I forgot this.
Yeah.
Was
I should pay attention to that first part that I said.
No.
yeah, I'm like, cool, I'm done.
Okay, so the weight, what do you think? Cleans? I like the shoulder overhead. I
don't know what else
see
it
it.
could
I don't
be.
see it with the. I just think it's. I would really. I mean, the shoulder overhead would be super fun. I just think that all of a sudden that's going to become the issue. Is can you clean it up? So why not just make it cleans anyway?
But what's wrong with adding an element in there? We did it at regionals for a 3-rep overhead squat. You had to at least get it off the ground to your shoulders because we didn't go
Regionals.
back.
That's
Regionals.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it's been.
I don't disagree with you. I just say for the open.
Well, okay, yes, for the open. Old quarterfinals, there was an age group one where they had the ring muscle-ups and shoulder overhead. An old qualifier for age group was the chest bar pull-ups and shoulder overhead. So it's not been programmed before.
Oh no. I again, man. I love shoulder overhead.
Yeah.
I think that would be super fun. I just think if we're trying to find something that is going to check the majority of the boxes,
Yeah.
then
I think cleans does it the best.
I think I
agree.
I
So if
agree.
we do cleans, and I would.
Do you start at 95, 65, or do you start lighter than that?
Grace weight. No, grace weight.
You start at 135?
Yeah.
What are you
Didn't
going
the other
up
one
to
start at
then?
95?
Well,
Yeah,
are we
the
doing
other
5
one
rounds?
Started at 95.
So
95,
50,
135, 185, 225, 275,
315.
So 6.
315.
Well, then it might have started at 135.
16.2, 135, 185, 225, 275, 315. There's 5 rounds. There's a 20-minute
started
cap.
later.
Yeah, that's what it would be.
I would say start lighter then.
17.1 did with the snatches.
I would say start lighter.
17.3.
Sorry, 13.1.
You're right.
Yeah.
I would still say, start lighter, and then that way you would have the ability to go heavier, and you're gonna allow more people to get further into it.
I don't know. Do 15 cleans at 135? Power?
Yeah, he said just
all
cleans.
power, just cleans, whatever you want to do.
15, it'll be 135 and 85. Those would be the starting weights.
I think I would say to do it lighter to include more people.
Okay.
I mean, I know that they have the scale division, but still, I think that. I
think if you're going to start at 95, you just make the buy-in shorter, and then you make just the cleans more.
So we in row?
You could go all the way up to 345.
But you still have the 15, the wall ball or the rowing.
Are we doing wall balls?
No, I didn't mean wall balls.
You think they'd put rowing and wall balls with Colton though?
Dumbbell snatches and bar facing burpee.
Dude, that's just like.
Or sorry, dumbbell facing burpee.
Like straight. Wow.
Maybe. I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, why would you pick?
I don't think they take that into account, though. I don't think they give a shit.
Yeah, they haven't.
Like they got Brent doing burpees and
Yeah.
like, it's not based on.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Well, I'll tell you, it's not based on the athletes. They never have intentionally picked the right athlete. Like they had. Remember when Lauren Brooks went against like Julie Fouché? Like,
yeah, her face when they actually announced it, it was like, oh, this is
double under
stupid.
workout.
Yeah, I remember that.
They clearly don't pick them for and at least that's what they've said in the past. But I think that format though lends itself okay because it's not necessarily about for those athletes. It's not about necessarily row and wall balls. It's just fitness and cleans.
Yeah.
I still think you can go 95, 135, 185, 225, 275, 315, 345 for the top dogs.
7 sets?
So you have it in there so
it
that
ends
they can
on
do
one. He's saying that 345 is the one rep.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, 7 sets. So if that's 7 sets, are you doing time stops or just weight stops and putting a time cap?
I think
I would really like to just.
Why don't you do time stops? 3 minutes. It's 21 minutes total, and then whatever buy-in is 15 wall balls, 15 cow row.
I think the instead of having time caps, because you already have stop gaps with the weight, so I think the time caps will be your tie breaks.
Okay.
That's what I'd say.
Okay.
So it forces everyone to get as deep. I mean, so 20 minutes. Everyone's
Yeah,
going
but then
20
you're just
minutes.
sitting there at one weight that you can't do for most.
That's why
people.
you start lighter at 95, 65.
Or say the first time check is 6 minutes. No, it's got to be longer. We just did it.
Totally. It's got to be longer than that.
It is longer for that if you can do it. You know,
True.
there's workouts you can't do. There's workouts you can't do. You know,
those that get capped in 6 minutes probably got capped at 15, so they got their.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like they're not doing the first one in 6. For the people who did it in 6 minutes, they're going to 20, 24. Yeah. The people who did 15, they're going to 6. That makes a lot of sense.
So 15.
I like.
row.
I don't disagree with the time caps. I'm just trying to make it to where.
All right. So here, okay. Let me just walk.
It's got to be light enough for everyone to get it.
You want to do a prediction? You want to do a prediction? Like all 4 of us now? You do your own prediction?
Okay.
That is mine.
Go through yours so I don't go through yours.
Mine is 15, 12 calorie row, 30 lunges, 15 cleans, and then it goes 13, and then it goes 11, and then it goes 9, 7, 5, 3, 1. 95 pounds, 95, 65, 135, 95, 185, 135, 225, 155, 275. What is that? 175?
185.
185. 315, 215, 345,
235.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
That would be the heaviest weight that's ever been in the open, yeah, other than the deadlift workout.
And the jump, at least for the guys on that weight, would be 40 pounds, 50, 40, 50, 40, and then 20 at the end, 30 at the end.
Okay. I'm doing some math here. Okay.
13, 11, 12, 9, 7, 5, 3. Oh, did I short that one?
Did you? All right.
15,
you want me to go?
13. Go. Yeah. 11, 9. 6,
all right.
7,
I want to see. Gosh, I really want to see shoulder overhead. But I also want to see wall balls. Dang it!
Does it come out right, Bill?
No, I'm one off. So what do you think? One heavier or one lighter? One lighter?
Then 95.
95?
I'm just saying. What do we go 365 for the?
Why don't you do one less and change your rep scheme? Drop by 3s.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, instead of
15, 12,
yeah, 15,
9,
12, 9, 6, 3.
6. 15, 12, 9, 6, 3. No, that doesn't work either.
No, but your 3 would be 315.
Yeah, take your 345 off.
Oh.
I know you like to go heavy.
I think we would need that.
He likes that one.
Well, it just completes it. I do.
Yeah, I like the one too, but
I'm leaving the 3. I'm putting the 345 in there for 1.
All right.
Then what are you doing for 3?
Isn't the 315 3?
No, for the original way you had it.
15, 12, 9.
Oh, you're just having a 1 at the end?
6. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Okay.
I know Chase hates that, but that.
No, I'm good. I'm trying to think. All right, I guess I can go next. If nobody else wants to go. Okay, I'll go.
Mine's going to be the absolute worst one if you want me to go next.
Hey, do you want to? Okay, you go.
I've purchased my programming course online, but I haven't completed it yet. No, I actually, honestly, I like. I don't even know why I'm on this fucking show. I don't know. I think there'll be.
And you've been muted. Thanks for coming. All right, cool. That's a great answer. Okay.
Oh, that's
I know how it
so
feels.
harsh.
I pressed. Oh, Bill did it.
I think it'll be like long, and I think it would be something like rowing that everyone can do. And I think there'll be something like highly skilled or higher skilled that will stop people, or like heavy that will stop people. And then it'll make rowing impossible. It'll just wipe it off the table. So I think maybe like heavy deadlifts or something that will like increase or whatever. And then I wouldn't be surprised either if there was like a max repetitions at the end. So that you'll have people like if you did max back step lunges or something in place, and you have people, you know, like dumping the bar, having to pick it up again, get it back, and it's like you can imagine like 20 seconds left and you're scrambling trying to pick up the jar, like don't drop it, and that kind of like intensity. I think that would be cool to see. So wishfully thinking, I mean, I hope it doesn't happen because I can't fucking do it, but wishfully thinking, hopefully there's like some kind of element like that at the end where it's like everyone has to keep going, and there's, you know, like you got to hold on to the bar for those last few seconds and stuff. I think that would be cool.
All right. John, you went next or last?
I'll go next. I think it's going to be a gated workout, just like 16.2. I think it's going to be 4 minute time stops. And I'm going to say 15, 12 cal row, 15 wall balls, and then 15, 13, 12, 9, 6, 7. Or no, the way Bill had it, 15, 12, 9, 6, 3. But you just stop at 315.
Okay.
Of cleans as well.
Yeah, of cleans. Yeah, and just cleans.
Why cleans? Why are you also hot and cleans?
Just from Cat.
But how integral, like on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely is it that that's going to impact anything? Cap, like 10, like it's definitely going to have a play, or like might or might not.
I think what the cap is the affiliate programming for gyms. And why would you have?
As in
I think they're
last year,
trying to
what was
showcase
last year
their
to have an impact?
intelligence of their programming, and you're not going to back to back for a competition setup like that. It's something you do it. That's why we
Last year
use it
did they
as-
do it?
No.
Okay.
Oh man.
It's something that's been pretty, like, shown to be pretty spot on.
Okay.
Like if you look at the rest of the week, like if you look at Saturday and Wednesday, it's not going to be anything that's in those days.
Okay.
For sure.
I kind of thought they wouldn't like to be that predictable.
Well, I mean, there's a wide range of things you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
do. Right.
It could be double unders, wall balls, and cleans.
Yeah, they could be handstand push-ups.
No tape though.
No tape.
Any way you want to do it.
Oh God. Now,
Once you show the capacity.
okay. I'm on this stopgap format, this time check format as well. I'll say buy-in 15, 12 cal row. And then I'm going to go 30. God, I really don't want to do this. I'm going to go 30 wall ball. No, I'm not. Dang it. I'll do 30 bodyweight lunges.
So you're going to copy Bill exactly?
He didn't say 30.
Yeah, he
They
did.
did.
Oh,
15, 30, 15.
okay. And then I'm going to go 15, 12, 9, 6, 3. That's different.
That's not different.
He didn't have the one. It's exactly the same minus the one.
Wait, you went 15, 12, 9, 6, 3, 1?
Yeah.
That's dumb.
See, I told you he would get all fired up about
You weren't
the one.
listening at all to
I really
Bill.
wasn't listening. I thought you went 15, 13, 11, 9.
No, he changed it because
God, I hate
it
your
was
work.
odd.
Well, I'm still going 15, 20, 12, 9, 6, 3 of shoulder to overhead at 95, 35, 85, 225, 275 for the men. 65, 85, 25, 45. Is it 85 or 65 for the women? 185? It was adding 20, so I'll just say 65. Screw it. No.
You know what's amazing is if it's not that kind of, if it's not a gate kept workout, if it's not cleans, if it's not descending repetitions, you guys are going to look so dumb and I'm going to look so smart for not picking it.
And my time checks, I'm going to put at 4 minutes. So it's
So you're going
20
to, like, to the
All right,
original setup
since
of
we're
that.
all like really, really similar, I'm just going to say front squats instead of cleans.
And what's your
I'm gonna say 15 cal row, 20 wall ball, and then front squats. 15, 12, 9, 6, 3.
The reason I'm not putting in wall ball is they got to put thrusters in week 3.
They can.
They can't. Not that they have to, but
That's a good rationale,
right.
but-
And so it's like, okay, we had 2 weeks of basically thrusters. That's the only reason I'm not putting in it, and it's the only reason I'm not putting in front squats or cleans because of the hinging we just did. I don't want to double up on like a wall ball front squat or a lunge front squat. So I'm just trying to create movement patterns that are not conflicting with.
Remember when Dave was asked about would you be able to do the workouts at home in a gym or whatever? Was that just 0.1 or was it the 3?
He said the 3 is long, but he says given if you have the equipment to
The
do
basic
so,
stuff.
the
You
basic.
did have the basic. The basic.
You have a
stuff.
home gym. If you have a home gym and you do CrossFit.
Yeah. So I would say pull-up bar, rower, weights, and a jump rope.
Yeah, you see, I don't know if I'd include wall ball in that. A standard home gym. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
That's why I think wall ball might not be it.
Right. All right. So
a good point,
4-minute time checks, 15, 12 cal row, 30 back step lunge, no weight, 15 shoulder overhead, 12, 9, 6, 3, 95 to 275, 65 to 185. 4-minute checks each time. With an 8-minute buffer like they did in
Dude, I
16.
usually take a nap, Peter, and I haven't. This is nap time.
What qualifies a home gym? A Bowflex and a treadmill? Yes, obviously.
The fuck is a Bowflex?
The Bowflex is?
I'll be right back, guys. My computer's about to die.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Can I also just say, how quickly did I put my fucking kids to bed?
You put your kids to bed?
I literally kicked the door open, threw them in. I was like, see ya.
Go to bed.
Don't you come out of your damn room.
Yeah. So you're going to go to sleep, right? You're not going to wake up, right? No, you don't need to drink. You're good? Okay, bye.
Good. Yeah, everybody went to the bathroom. That's where it is. Don't come out. Don't bother me. The other day I just kept mine up until I was off.
Wow.
I don't know if that was the right direction to go, but that was Monday. Oh, all right. So what we know is that we'll all be wrong. Pedro will be right.
Do you guys pick, like, so when you're predicting a workout like that, are you dreaming in your head of what a finale workout in the open would be? And then, well, I don't want to impact on that, so I need it to be different than that. Are you thinking of that way too?
Yeah, that's why I didn't put double unders or, like I said, the wall balls, because I think some type of thruster for a week 3,
Yeah.
very Franish. So pulling on the pull-up bar will be there. So we shall see.
God, I need to fix my knee.
Why are there 450 people watching this show?
It's cool, man.
All right. While all of you are here, please make sure you guys go and watch a couple things. Number 1, Pedro's
Spin Wednesday night,
Right.
6:30
Tonight.
coming up.
Pedro's CrossFit Open 24.1 at CrossFit Limitless. Go watch this. He has do you have Around the Whiteboard today?
Yeah, in like 20 minutes.
Around the Whiteboard coming up in 20 minutes. So all 450 of the 400 that Hiller bought for us. Thank you so much, Andrew. Go watch the 24.1 recap. Was fantastically done.
Please do watch that. It's less than 15 minutes, and it would mean, even just run it in the background. I don't care.
Yeah.
But it would mean a massive amount to me if that got over like 2.5. It would just be huge for me.
So between this time now and the 20 minutes before Around the Whiteboard goes on, go watch the 24.1 at CrossFit Limitless. Coffee Pods and Wads, go to their link. For you guys watching and you're still here, I'll drop this in the chat so you guys can just click that and go there. Don't leave us yet. Don't leave us yet. The other one, I'm sorry I didn't announce this. I said, hey, go watch announcements on .com and then the Friday Night Lights with Taylor versus the World. But go watch the adaptive announcements. It's on their YouTube page. It's just Wheel Wad. So make sure you guys go to Wheel Wad after the open announcement tomorrow, which will be at noon Pacific time. Wheel Wad will do their own announcement for their version of the open workout. So make sure you guys do that. If you're watching the chat, we drop that in for you guys. And yes, watch the spin tonight. John, what time does that usually go on?
6:30 Central.
6:30 Central. And shameless plug, if you guys go to our main page, there's a join button there. You have two options. You can get the GWTP membership or the Programmatron membership. The Programmatron will come with a workout of the week program by Bill and I. Every single week you get access to that. Other than that, I can't promise we'll do anything else cool for you guys other than you give us the ability to make more fun content like we did today to pay for the people that make these cool slides for all of us. But yeah, that'll be it. It'd be awesome if you guys joined us for that, for the ride. This is one of the biggest live shows we've ever had.
450 people, dude.
At 1:30 on Wednesday.
1:30 on Wednesday. Why? Because inside the leaderboard is the right way. Get with the programming.
I think they know Bill called 24.1 and they just really
That's
went
true.
back.
We should all thank Bill for guessing last week's workout and all here for that prediction, which means after we all miss it this week, we'll have 50 live viewers.
Oh, totally.
No, if you bring me back on, because I'll be right.
That's right.
Right. Yeah.
Wait, what was your prediction, actually? It was kind of vague.
He said ascending deadlifts.
Something
and-
deadlifts.
It's like something where you're doing some stuff and there's a thing where some people...
Listen, Bill, at least wait until I'm confirmed wrong before you start mocking me for it.
Oh, Ken Walters. I really love how all the podcasts support each other and promote. Sevi promoted this show this morning. Oh, shit. No wonder you guys all here. Thanks, Sevi.
Right on, dude. Thanks.
Most of the podcasts support each other.
So, hey, thank you guys for coming on. I want to get this right. I want to make sure I have the right on. Pedro?
Those kids would have to be Lucky Charms.
And then John Young.
That is right. I did it. That's number 5. Are you kidding me? That's right. Who do you think you are? I am.
And we will all watch live tomorrow as 24.2 is brought to you by Mr. Seth Rollins. So we'll see if all of you wrestling fans show up to watch that more than you wanted to watch Dave Castro. I'm curious to see how that goes. So
I'm interviewing Rich Froning at the exact same time as the old.
Oh, yes.
No, I'm not.
It's actually him.
Week 3, he has Matt Fraser scheduled.
Yeah, he's actually scheduling Matt and Rich. They'll debate who the greatest athlete of all time tomorrow during the open announcement. But thank you guys so much for rolling with us. I cannot express how much it is that you guys are here supporting the show. And I can't wait to see what happens next week. John, Pedro, Bill, good luck in 24.2.